let's talk about NFTs, non-fungible tokens. You've been mentioning the CryptoPunks, which we've seen going for $1 million plus now. We've seen ETH rocks, one of 100. I think the floor price is now $1 million.
Oh.
We've seen the Apes going, I think $1 million. One went on Solana. Explain to people your take on non-fungible token. Also, you recently sold an NFT for over $1 million. It's got kind of pictures of you on the background with balloons. It's like it's a GIF or something.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful, and you're beautiful. But
Thank you.
$1 million is a lot of money for that piece. How do you get your head around NFTs, and how do you explain it to people?
For me, NFTs is very simple. It's just linking to a particular content. And it's not about actually like the content itself. It's actually the relationship between the creator with the audience or whoever buys that linking. It's kind of like, you might have music, for example. You might hear a song on the radio. You might have an album. You might have a record of a particular, let's say, vinyl record of a song, right? And when someone signs, let's say the creator of that record signs that physical object, that's kind of what NFT is. It's a cryptographic signature into a linking to something. And the link could be visual content, media, but it can also be a promise. Let's say if you have this NFT and you come to me, I give you a box of shoes, and you can wear those shoes. They're yours. So you can NFTs can be like pretty much any kind of like a promise or
Smart
linking.
Contracts.
Yeah, essentially you can because of the smart contract, you can program things. You can program things in a way that if you buy 2 NFTs, I will send you a third one automatically when you claim your second NFT. And NFTs are interesting because they're tied into the visual now, like visual content, music, and videos. So it sparks a lot of kind of interest from the mainstream and from the creator communities. So creators are looking into the space. Wow, people are buying this stuff. I sell my stuff in a gallery and no one cares. And I see people selling, buying and selling things at higher price, and they have value and they have provenance on chain. And because of the smart contracts, you can see systems where if I buy an NFT, maybe 5 other people will buy it, or if I sell this NFT to someone else, it might trade higher because it has my name before that, the provenance there. And also you can program things. You can program royalties. So whenever I sell the NFT in a marketplace, 25% of that sale price goes back to the creator. So you can actually create cash flows. Imagine you make one painting once and you get always when it's sold royalty from that. You have in some economies.
Copyright kind of.
Yeah, copyright basically,
right,
royalties,
art, which previously never happened. Picasso didn't make any money off his paintings because he only sold them once.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And so you can design this in, and that's where it becomes interesting.
Yeah.
With these NFTs.
And I think we're even not in a high in the innovation curve of NFTs. There's sort of experimentations. I experimented with NFTs, and we're focusing now on building this social graph, social media protocol, which has this NFT features there, heavily involved. And I just see that there's so much things coming up in the future, what you can do and experiment. And the more we get creators in, the more kind of adoption we'll get. Because now NFTs got the interest of creators, more mainstream, and it's just a way to onboard more people. And I don't know where the NFT space will go, but definitely will evolve. We're not near in close of the kind of we have built everything.
The NFT market, by one recent estimate, is $28 billion, 14% of, say, the $2 trillion in DeFi. It's significant.
Yeah, and it might be even bigger. And at some point, there isn't distinction what is NFT and what is DeFi, because NFT, for example, a CryptoPunk worth of $1 million could be used as a collateral in Aave in the future, which we are, for example, working upon, and you can borrow assets against it. NFT can represent even a physical object. It can be a pair of shoes. It can be my hoodie, or even a right to wear my hoodie for a week. It can be in the future even a property once we get there. There's a lot of regulation and stuff that is challenging still, but essentially there's many things you can do attached to the physical as well. Essentially, NFTs, DeFi, there will not be clear distinction, because what blockchain does very well is that it's stores of value. And in DeFi and governance tokens, it's more about storing monetary value, but also storing a bit of the community value, the social capital. But NFTs, they bring that aspect more, because when you hold a CryptoPunk, you actually are not just holding like a piece of image, like linking to that image that is signed by the creator, but you're also holding the value of the community at the same time. And once you have, for example, social media protocol, you can also have like your social capital followers on chain. So blockchain does practically what it does very well is store of different kinds of values, and you can mirror it. So if someone has maybe not my physical hoodie as an NFT, but let's say a virtual version of it, and by owning this NFT, they can actually wear it in different kinds of metaverses games. That is a big opportunity, because Fortnite, all these game skins are traded all the time, and it's a big business end of the day. And that's like cryptography will allow you to own that. If Fortnite goes down tomorrow, everyone loses their assets. But if you have the cryptography and NFTs, you can just go to a next game, or someone can build a game where you can use those assets again because you own them with the NFTs.
That's probably the best explanation I've ever heard of between the real world and the metaverse when it comes to NFTs. By the way, did we just create an NFT, which is the right to wear Stani's hoodie that he wore on London Real for 1 week?
Yeah.
Right, the one that you wore right now on London Real for 1 week. That's an NFT.
Yeah.
All right, we just created. We'll be taking the bids later. I don't know where we're going to put it on OpenSea.
That's an interesting experiment. Yeah. I hope they return it, because like if they return, like
but they break the smart contract, right? We can put some things in there. That's interesting when you say about the gaming. I was thinking about Michael Jackson's glove. He used to have that sparkly glove. And that was this epic piece. I'm sure it's in a museum or in a Hard Rock cafe somewhere, right? So that's a collectible. But imagine having first of all, the blockchain verified ownership of that. And then now you could have it in a video game, and there would be the one glove that's in Fortnite that you can wear, and you're the guy with the Michael Jackson glove. And then if it's on the Ethereum blockchain, maybe you can transfer it between games.
Exactly.
And it starts getting really interesting and creative. I mean, what you guys have done in DeFi, that in the NFT space, I mean, there's so many dimensions we can't even conceive of right now, right?
Yeah, it's metaverse. Like the way Money Legos is a metaverse of financial building blocks. In NFTs, for example, if there's a CryptoPunk holders, I could tomorrow create a game that if you are a CryptoPunk holder, you can actually come to the game. Or same with, for example, Aavegotchi. It's a ecosystem project within the Aave ecosystem. And it's kind of like similar to CryptoPunks, where you have this kind of like pixelized ghost. They have different properties. If you deposit into the Aave protocol, you kind of like unlock those ghosts, and then you can wear them. They have consumables and whatnot. Someone can create a game, let's say, saying that if you have a CryptoPunk and Aavegotchi, you can actually access the game and battle against them. And it just opens new possibilities for developers for inviting communities. So you don't need to create everything from scratch, a completely new game, but you actually you just can create some base layer, one part of a game, and invite all the assets there. And that's a way to bootstrap gaming community in your new game.
That's fascinating. What are the big mistakes happening in NFTs right now, do you think?
Biggest mistakes is that we don't experiment enough. I think that's just there's a lot of cool things happening at the moment, but we just kind of we should push more forward. We should try different things, experiment. And also, I think maybe one thing is that people are following too much the same thing. Everyone wants to have a CryptoPunk. Everyone wants to have let's say some other kind of collectible. But, people should just follow what they want to do. If you like something else, just that's totally fine and that's interesting. This concentration of social capital is something that is a bit worrying me, but at the same time, it's normal. If your friend has Nikes or Adidas, you want to have two, and you have this kind of a FOMO there. But it can be also a bit of a dangerous and maybe not even healthy for your mental health at some point. So I could see more of seeing new things coming up, and I love derivatives because that's also form of flirting with the innovation and getting things forward. But I would like to see more experimentation.